back with another one.
All right, guys, so I'm driving down the highway. I hit a big piece of concrete. See that? This is crazy. I hit a big piece of concrete and it basically tore a hole in my oil pan. And if you can look back here, it gouged my lower control arm right here, if you can see. It's been a lot of stuff too. So I'm gonna have to fix this oil pan first. All right, guys, so look at all the oil that came out. I mean, it was just basically pouring out. You can see this puddle right here. I had to slide this catch pan up under my car. All right, guys, so it is the next day, and what we're gonna do is we're going to remove the oil pan on this vehicle. This is a 2008 Scion XB. The first thing we're gonna do is open the hood and pull the dipstick out. I was told that if you have a vehicle, some of the vehicles like this have plastic dipsticks, and when you pull the oil pan off, you may break it. Okay, so we're gonna do that first. All right, guys, so over here on the left side is the dipstick. We're gonna go ahead and pull that out. You don't have to pull it all the way out. You just need to pull it out just enough where it's not down in the oil pan anymore. All right, let's get up under the vehicle. All right, guys, so around this oil pan, you're gonna have 14 10mm screws, okay? You see that? 2 of those screws are gonna be nuts. That one right there is a nut, and you can see that one up in that middle. That's gonna be the hardest one to get to, right there. And this one right here is a nut. The 2 that are nuts are alignment screws to make it easier to put the oil pan back on the bottom of the engine, okay? So that's what those nuts are for. Like I said, it's one right here, and then it's one here. Now the hardest one, like I said, is gonna be this one back here. And I would start with that one first. I would take that one off first. The rest of them you can get to with no problem. Okay, see them? Like the rest of them are easy to get to. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go after this one that's in this cut back here. That one, the one back there. All right, let's get started. No oil came out of my pan because overnight all of it dripped out from the hole that's actually in it. So what I'm going to do is kind of clean up some of this oil, and then I'm going to go ahead and take off all 14 screws. Okay, so what you do is you take your 1/4-inch drive, you take the socket off. You stick it through like this, and you put the socket on in here. There we go. So it worked. That's weird. All right. So we got that one out. Like I said, that's the hardest one to get out. It's gonna be the hardest one to put back in also. All right, so let's start taking all of the nuts off. So we got all 14 screws out, and all we have to do is basically just pull it down. Okay. To get it to pop loose, you have to, let's see if I can get some light. You have to pry it loose like right here. You pry it loose right there. See, they got that little metal piece that you can force the screwdriver on it and pry it open. That's how you get it off. So once you do that, you should be able to just pull the whole thing down. Alright guys, so the oil pan is off, and again, the hardest one was the one in this corner right here. Not the stud, but the screw hole right there. Okay, that is the hardest to get off. Let's see if I can get a full view of it. Now, the next thing we got to do is clean off all of this gasket maker that's all around it. We got to get that off. So I'm going to use this razor blade and clean that up as good as I can get it. And then we'll be back. Alright guys, so what we're going to do is clean up the surface before we put on the new oil pan. Okay. With this, you can use a razor blade. Just take the razor blade and scrape. You know what? I'm going to do that first, and then I'll clean it up with something else. So I'm going to take this razor blade, and we're going to clean up this area. So just kind of lean it and try to get off as much as you possibly can. Alright, so I'm going to use my grinder for the rest of it. Alright, so everything else will have to come off with a razor blade. Alright, so I got most of it off, and what I'm going to do is use some carburetor cleaner to clean up anything else that's left. It'll remove the rest of the gasket maker. Alright guys, so we got everything cleaned up, as you can see, And we're gonna go ahead and start putting the actual oil pan back on. All right. All right, guys, so this right here is the old oil pan. And this right here is the new one. You can see they're the same. And I bought an actual gasket also. Just like that. All right, guys, so it's time to put the oil pan on, and we got to prepare it. So basically, I was gonna use the gasket here. I bought this, but I decided that I don't want to use it. I think that gasket maker is better and it lasts longer and it just doesn't leak. So I'm not gonna use this. Now, to prepare the surface, see this right here is like really shiny because they painted it. We're gonna have to grind all this down to the bare metal to get the gasket maker to stick good. Okay, we already cleaned the surface under the motor. So now we're gonna have to prepare this. Now all I'm gonna do is get my angle grinder, and I'm just gonna, you see that? But I'm gonna do it all the way around. Okay, and technically all you have to do is get it on this lip, from this part of the lip over to here. So this is the flat part that's going to be up against the motor. That's all you got to do. So I'm going to start doing that, and then I'll get back with you. So as you can see, I've done majority of it. Just kind of let you see what I'm doing. See that? All I'm doing is taking it off that lip. That's the part that's going to be touching the motor itself. Okay, just wanted to show you before I finished. All right, let's keep going. All right, guys, so we got the whole thing cleaned up, and what we're gonna do is start putting the gasket maker on it. I'm gonna use J.O.A.T.D 4. See that? This stuff right here is really good. I use it on the ATVs. It is oil resistant and heat resistant and a bunch of other things. I really love this stuff. So I'm gonna use this to put around, and then we're gonna go up under the car and put this back up under there. All right, guys, so this right here is the J.O.A.T.D on the oil pan. Make sure that you go down, and then you go around the hole, down, around the hole, down, around the hole, and so on and so forth. All right, so let's put it on the car. Okay, guys, so when you put this on, you need to make sure that you don't mess up the gasket maker when you're putting this under the motor. So remember, it goes in with the fuel plug facing the back of the car. So it's going to go in sideways. Just like that. Turn it. Let's see. And then you're going to find the holes, and bam, there you go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bolt on back here first. Just like that. on. Just like that. There we go. All right, so we got it on, and we're gonna start putting all of the screws on. I did this one, and then I went back here. So I'm gonna go over here on the side. Like that. All right, guys, so we got all 14 screws in all the way around. Okay, even the one in the corner right there, we got all 14 in. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna click them all off to 80 inch-pounds, okay? So let's do that. Now what I'm gonna do is click these off in a star pattern. Let's see. I'm gonna start over here. So 1, 2, 13, and then the one in here, you're gonna have to slide it in like this, and then push through it like that. 14. Alright guys, so after you go in a star pattern, you're gonna go all the way around in a circle, just to make sure you got all of them. Start in this corner here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, and we started here. Now I only got 13 because one of the bolts I had to replace due to the damage that was done to the old oil pan when I hit the concrete slab. Some kind of way it stripped that bolt, so I had to change it to a bigger bolt so that I can get it tight. So I just got to click off that one, which will make 14, and that will be it. But I'm going to do that off camera. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to let the J.O.A.T.D bond cure for at least 24 hours. And guys, please remember, this car does not have any oil in it, so you will have to do an oil change to this vehicle. After the 24 hours, we're going to drive it around and maybe for about 40 miles and come back and check to see if we have any leaks. And if we don't have any leaks, that's it, guys. All right, this is J.O.A.T.D. And I'm out, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.